Okay.
This call is now being recorded.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you, or good evening, we should say. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Kurt Woosley, one of the school counselors with Achieve Virtual Education. We also have with us tonight Stephanie Rose, one of the other school counselors with us, and Derek Eaton, our school administration, our school principal with Achieve Virtual Education. I thank you for coming tonight. I appreciate you guys showing up. Again, this will be recorded. It's a short session tonight, roughly about 10 to 15 minutes in regards to meeting box 2 and the requirements for your graduation pathway. So let's go ahead and we'll get started here. I want to start out by looking first just at this poster here, and I realize that this may be small for you to read. There is a link further as we go into this conversation that will allow you to open this up, but keep in mind that everything that we're coming back to is going to back to the concepts that are presented in this poster here. The concepts of your mindset, your learning strategies, your work ethic, and your social and emotional. Anything from the mindset, for instance, where you may be talking about your lifelong learning skills. Are you continuing to learn? Are you continuing to grow, not only just through your high school career-wise, but learning throughout life as you get into your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and so forth. Learning as your different learning strategies. For instance, decision-making. That's one of the little blurbs that you see here. Are you making decisions that are based upon best practices, based upon good decision-making, etc. Work ethic. Achieve Virtual Education. You certainly have to have a good work ethic in order to be successful because it is online and it is a self-paced program where in the sense that you're looking at the material at your time frame, not necessarily the traditional school frame time frame. You have to have some independence and perseverance in order to get the things accomplished, as well as social and emotional. Are you connected with the people around you and so forth? These are all skills that employers are looking for, and that will help make you successful later on in life. I want to give you a brief summary first before we talk about box 2 particularly, just what graduation pathways is. You know, everyone understands the diploma requirements. You have to meet so many English, so many math, so much science, and so forth. But the graduation pathways is relatively new in the sense that it really only took place beginning with the cohort class or the graduation class of 2023. So not only did the graduates of starting with 2023 as well as your graduating class of 2026, you have to meet diploma requirements and graduation requirements. And again, I'm just giving you a brief summary before we get to the box 2. Why do you think the state of Indiana changed or added additional requirements? Well, they're looking at trying to work at individualizing goals for students versus a one category or one means of graduation is the only way that students can graduate. Verifying and wanting to make sure that students are college and career readiness, that they have some flexibility and choice in how they leave high school and what they're doing on the next steps. Increased relevance as well as skill development. As I said, graduation pathway has 3 boxes. The first box talks about your diploma requirements. You're already meeting this and you didn't even realize this. And this is just simply how you earn your diploma. Is it a general diploma, a Core 40 diploma, the academic honors diploma, or the technical honors diploma? The general and the Core 40 diploma both are looking at 40 credits, so many English, so much math, so much science, so many courses in science, history, PE and health, and electives. Vast majority of students in the state of Indiana will be earning the Core 40 diploma. Some earn the general diploma, as well as some earn the academic honors or technical honors diploma. With Achieve Virtual Education, the majority of them are earning those first two diplomas. Some students are earning the academic honors diploma. You're looking at 47 credits with that one, and some increased AP classes or dual credit classes, and then the technical honors diploma. If you were ever part of programs such as Area 31, you could be qualifying for that as well. So again, box one, you guys are already doing, you just didn't even realize it. Box two is what I want to talk about specifically tonight and how to meet that one. And there's three categories in box two: project, service-based, or work-based learning. You don't have to do all of them. You just need to do one of them under project, service, or work-based learning. And that can be easily accomplished through a form that you guys will see here starting tomorrow if you've not already seen it before. I'm going to show you exactly what the form looks like because it has changed this year. Changed to the fact that as recently as a few hours ago, I received notice that the form had changed, and I've got the latest version for you to show. Box three, the last part of the graduation pathways, is the one that has the most meat to it in the sense that you are finishing your honors diploma or ACT, SAT, or ASVAB. As juniors last year, seniors, you were able to take the SAT with Wayne Township Schools at the state's cost. I hope you took advantage of that. If you didn't, you can still take the SAT test. You'll just be signing up with SAT.org on your own. Or you can take the ASVAB test with us. ASVAB test we'll be offering this spring. Look through information through Parent Square, and in about February, we'll be sending out information on when and where to come take that ASVAB test. I like the ASVAB test. ASVAB test is often used with military entrance type of exam. That doesn't mean you're going necessarily to the military. Here's why I like the ASVAB test, though. The ASVAB test has some great career assessment information in it that can really help pinpoint you and guide you to life after high school. Other ways you can meet box three requirements are through state or industry credentials or certifications. Technical career concentrators, for instance, courses through Area 31 or other programs like that. By taking AP or dual credit courses, could be an advanced placement English or a government or history, etc. Some different courses there. But the vast majority of the students that we have with Achieve Virtual Education are earning their box three requirements through locally created pathways, with the two of them primarily being under human service or career exploration. Career exploration is often used with students who are working outside of high school and are actively employed with an employer, working a minimum of 10 hours a week. And then the human service pathway is a new one that we've used this year and that we've had a lot of success with, is a set of 3 courses under human services. Principles, or 6 courses, excuse me, 3 each semester. Principles of Human Services, Relationships, Emotions, and Diversity. Again, graduation pathway requirements has 3 areas: the diploma, the form that I'm going to show you here in just a minute in box 2. Excuse me, my cat decided to join me. Got to shut the door. And then box 3, the areas that we're looking at right here. But let's go ahead and look at box 2 specifically, because that's what you're joining us here tonight to talk about, that box 2 and how we can help with that one. Box 2, again, remember that poster from the very beginning. I'm going to show you the link here in just 1 minute. Looks at 4 different benchmarks of self-management skills, learning strategies, social and emotional skills, and workplace skills. It's going to ask you to answer each of those categories in 1 to 2 sentences, so it's not long at all, and they relate to some of the different areas. I've given you an example of a possible answer that you could have for self-management. It just simply says, I was able to develop the self-management skills by keeping on track with my due dates and learning how to successfully complete my courses while being employed. Remember, one of the goals that we have is to be able to individualize our education and make it applicable for all students. This is just one example. Your answer could be completely different than mine, but I wanted to give you at least something to start out with. You see, again, it's not a long paragraph by any means. It's just a few sentences. And then you would do that for each of those 4 benchmarks. Any questions so far? Let's keep going. Box 2 information. This is the link that I'm going to be sending this out in a YouTube video. Here is where you can see the link for the poster. You can open that up and look at that anytime that you want. Again, looking at the 4 mindsets here. Again, 1 to 2 simple sentences. That's going to be how you meet box 2 requirements, because it's going to come into an email form to you. You will click on that link, answer those questions, submit it. It comes back to us. And I've lost my mouse. Just a minute. There we go. This email is going to come with the message, the subject, you see in bold print there, to your school email account. So you do have to get into your school email account. If you don't remember how to do that, talk with me here later on and we'll make sure you know how to do that. But the subject heading is going to be important, impact semester reflection, and you see the rest of there. Don't delete that email. It's going to come directly from the email that you see in white there, no-reply at educationadvance.com. This comes from our system. It's called SFS, that helps us manage our box 2 information that we report to the state. It's going to be automatically sent to all of our seniors tomorrow to their school email accounts. Click on this link. It's going to open up this form right here. You see that when you open up this form, it has service-based, project-based, or work-based. It doesn't matter to me from what perspective you take it to. Project-based is just simply responding to these questions here. You see the first one down there is the mindsets that goes with our first category there. Service-based could be, service-based was the first one there, not project-based. I apologize. Service-based could be you're answering it from the perspective of I'm volunteering with a homeless shelter or food distribution, or I'm doing some extracurricular activities after school. Work-based could be I'm doing this from the perspective of being employed, and it could be employed at a variety of different things. So you would click one of those first 3 up there, answer his question, and you're not seeing the entirety of the form. I just want you to see the beginning here. Not at all difficult for you guys to do. You, again, first go to that email in your student email account, open up that email, click on this form, and then respond to those 4 different categories. You're going to type in it just like you do in Canvas there in that blue box. Questions? When you're finished, I'm going to ask you, because I will send this out to you in a separate email. This is just simply a link, a form that you're going to, I've completed this form. I'm going to ask you to submit. That gives a clue to Stephanie, Rose, and myself that we need to go in and approve this form then. Will simply include your first name, last name, and then your birth date. Easy enough to do, not a big deal. I appreciate you guys listening to me tonight to talk about this, knowing that this is part of the requirements. Just as Miss Rose last week presented information on how to get your diploma, some graduation information, and senior survey that needs to be done. This also is one of the things that needs to be done. You remember correctly if last week when she presented, or in the YouTube video that you may have seen that was sent out then the following day, there are going to be things that we're sending out throughout the end of this semester and next semester for our seniors that we have to do. This is just one more thing. And you see, it's not a difficult requirement, but it needs to be done as part of the graduation process. Are there any questions, guys?
No, sir.
Thank you, Mackenzie. If you guys have any questions, just a reminder, the email how to get to Stephanie Rose or myself, and then our phone numbers, which are our direct phone numbers. You can welcome to call us during school hours, of course. We're there to answer it. Email, I know that Miss Rose and myself both look at emails throughout the day, unfortunately. Even at home, we may not always respond at home, but we're monitoring that as well as the weekends. As well as in the homeroom, you have a course in Canvas titled Homeroom. That homeroom has a great deal of information that's available to you for things while you're in high school and beyond high school to look at. There happens to be a form in there. How do I contact my counselor? If you can't remember our names or our emails, go to the homeroom and how to contact my counselor, and that will send a message to us well. Thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Stay warm tonight. I think it's getting cold tonight. And if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Have a good evening. Good night.